I was saying I like to have, before, when I talk about pieces, I like to know a little bit about, who made it and what, have they been turning for 20 years or is this their first piece or what? And what they sort of wanted to accomplish. So who did this? No takers?
Who's the name on the bottom?
Paul something. H-O.
Horan?
Horan, yeah.
Harlan?
Paul Horan? He's was around here before.
Well,
You getting a coat?
I'll talk about it anyway then.
He really chewed that one.
And we'll record it.
Yeah, I assume, I hope I'm not, so that he hasn't been turning all that long, or he hasn't turned that many pieces. It doesn't matter how long you've turned, how many years, it's how many hours you've put in at the lathe. It really helps. Basically the shape isn't bad. Everybody, including me, the first thing I do when I see a ball is put my hand inside. It's just, not only wood turners, it's sort of human nature to do that. And then I'm feeling these bumps here, which I don't, so it'd be real easy to just kind of fix those bumps. That's just, it's sort of elementary, but it's a really important thing because people are attracted to vessels, there's just something about it. And if you watch, I used to do a lot of craft shows and people pick up a piece, they turn it over, you look at the bottom, you see what's going on there, you rub your hands on it. So that's what I would do there. That's the same person. This is actually quite a bit better that way. I can feel a little bit here. And there's some torn, just elementary stuff here. Some torn grain, it's a nice finish, except that they should have spent more time with the coarse sanding to get rid of the torn grain. If you're doing a piece with these really rough textures, then torn grain is fine. But if you're
Paul just came in behind you.
Oh. Paul?
Yeah, I'm coming.
We're talking about your work. Okay. So tell me something about. I'd like you to just say something.
It's myrtle wood that I picked up in Oregon. And I turned it, and I used water locks on it as a finish.
So what I was saying was, I was considering, well, this one, I looked at this one too, and this one is quite bumpy in the bottom, and that's, I think, pretty easy to fix, and it makes a world of difference if you get rid of the bumps, because they don't look intentional. And this is much better that way. There's still a little one in the center. But that's where people go, just immediately you go put your hands like that and feel it. And then here, the finish is really nice, except you got a bunch of torn grain. It just means you needed to spend more time with your coarse sanding before you went to the fine. But that's about it. What about some of these pieces here?
Cherry one's mine.
This one?
Yeah.
And
I've been turning for about 2 years. That one's not, I usually put a peel finish on it. That's just walnut oil.
yeah.
Just trying some techniques that I learned a month or two ago here.
Oh, great. Okay.
Consider myself a beginner. And the first nice piece of cherry I've ever turned. Or started out nice.
Yeah. It's still pretty nice.
I thought so.
Yeah, I think you've done a nice job with a nice curve in here. I feel the tiniest bit, but that happens.
Took a lot of going back and forth sanding to
Yeah.
but I think I learned some techniques from you on how to smooth that out.
Yeah, we can, yeah. I play more of the shape doesn't really excite me there. What I do when I'm messing around with like a shape is make a bunch of small pieces and see what happens if I make cut more in here, make more of an angle. Do I like it right? Sometimes I can't picture it. I have to have the piece right in front of me to see.
Same. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Hey Al, can you present the piece this way,
Oh,
at least for a
that way,
minute.
Okay. Well, go on. What about?
Just go ahead. Just go ahead.
Okay. Okay, who else? Somebody want to talk about this? Yes.
Piece of sugar maple with 2 coats of water locks.
Uh-huh.
I was aiming for overall shape. The presentation of the sculpting.
Yeah.
I didn't add any texture to it. I wanted to.
Oh, yeah, with this, yeah. Did you do anything to the softer spots, or was it still pretty dense that you had to
It
do?
was even enough. I didn't have to worry about soft spots.
Right, no, it's very nice. I was looking at this before the finish. It's real nice. It's a good shape. I might have, I say this a lot, taken this in a little more, had the base be a little smaller, just bring that curve down a little bit more. But it's basically, it's a really nice shape. It's a nice job. You know, in here, it's not evenly thick. I don't know if you wanted to, or it'd be really hard to get it evenly thick
You don't
down.
really care about that at the woodturner.
Right.
Not that it isn't a consideration.
No, but you're right. Because with a piece like this, people are looking at the outside of it. So you look at the shape, you look at the wood, you look at the finish.
That's why I didn't spend a whole lot of time.
Right, and that's fine. I understand.
I used to.
Right. Yeah, I know. I was at a conference once, and there was some art professor who wasn't a woodturner at all talking about the pieces, and he was looking at a big piece somebody had turned green, a hollow form, but not totally hollow. You put your hand in there, and somebody said, "Does it bother you that they didn't sand inside?" And he just said, "Why?"
I used to make it thinner too. You know, like 1/8 of an inch or so.
Right.
And this is closer to 1/4 inch. I think that is fine.
Yeah, it feels good. It has a nice feel to it, and the finish is lovely. Really, see it. It feels good.
You can touch it some more.
Okay, what about?
That's mine. I've been turning it a year and a half, and it's a Yahtzee cup. That's what it's for.
That's nice. Integrating turning. Oak, it looks like oak.
It is.
Yeah. There's a little bit of a bump in here, and I like the shape of it. Just technically, that curve, doesn't quite follow right there. I feel comfortable. Other than that, it's fine. I saw him before.
Well, Lynn?
Yeah, I saw him earlier. Anyway, these are really, I was looking at these. I saw him take them out. Yeah, the pizza cutter is really nice. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, just give me a couple of seconds.
Okay, a couple of seconds.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
You know, the handle is really good proportion to the fitting, the metal parts. Beautiful turning job.
Thanks.
Very nice. Okay, what about?
Right here.
Yes.
This piece of found wood, we'll say, drapery wire.
Pardon?
Drapery wire.
Okay.
My wife was going away, and I said I got a better use for it.
Great.
Made that on a Philadelphia mini lathe.
Oh, really? Oh, so in 3 pieces?
3 pieces.
3 pieces, great. You know, right, it's funny, isn't it? Really good. Right down, right here, you have a little bit of a bump.
Yeah.
So I would have sanded that away.
I didn't realize it until I.
Yeah, right. That happens quite a bit. Yeah.
I've been thinking about carrying that with me to use as a club.
Yes. Walking stick and women is offensive.
And what about this?
That's fine.
I've never seen that like this.
I was just playing around with it and I did marbles first and then I did the golf ball. Made the hole slightly smaller than the back diameter of the ball. I used a lot of tempers and temper points.
And then you just force the ball. Oh, okay. It's a neat thing.
Golfers like it.
I guess it would.
Golf and wine.
Riding in
turning almost 2 years. That's a yarn bolt.
It's a good shape. It's a bit. It's mostly even except right in here. So
I try to keep the bottom a little heavier on these because you're tugging yarn on these.
Right, okay.
Yeah, because you want stability.
Oh, so that's why the cut is in the side.
Right, you put the ball
Oh,
and
that's
ball
the
of yarn in there.
yarn. Okay, I was going to ask why you did that. That makes perfect sense. That's great.
Now I
Because that
have
just as a normal bowl, that was sort of incongruous. But that's the yarn. Okay. Yeah, it's nicely done. Nice finish.
Like dry malting that better?
Actually, I take a coping saw and run that in and then just start taking it out with sand.
Sandpaper, yeah, like a strip.
Yeah, I have to start with the finer grades, the thinner stuff, and then work up to coarser, and then go back to the thinner to finish it up.
Oh, just to fit it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Practice.
I need to put another coat on that, sand it down because it's a little rough.
Yeah.
And I'm just tickled that the barbs are coming off completely.
Yeah.
There's about a 4-inch place where it's coming loose a little bit. But, practice.
Yeah, it's I can see there's brush bristles embedded in the finish here. If you look at it. We won't talk about those. Too late now.
Practice.
Well, that's pretty good. I mean,
I thought the bark was going to stay on that better, but I think it's saturated
with the CA.
CA. And it came loose. I'm a little disappointed because that was one of my better ones today, even though I need to coat it again.
Yeah. No, it's a nice curve in here. I'm not sure about this curve. It got a bit of almost a very slight OG. And it's not strong enough to look intentional. It's sort of right in the middle there. You can feel it more than see it.
Yeah.
So either really do it, accentuate it, or get rid of it. Because you kind of followed it on the inside, which is interesting. But
Well, that's one problem I have, like making goblets. I'll do something on the inside, and then I'll especially a goblet, then I'll try to follow it, and I find out really I want more appeal on the outside, and not necessarily follow it on purpose.
right, you don't always have to follow. Yeah. But it's a beautiful, down here, this is a beautiful curve right in there. Very nice. Okay. And the boxes. You want to say
So
anything?
what kind of wood would you say that is? Because it came from a maple, but it has this cherry kind of feel to it we couldn't figure
It
out.
does.
That was almost thrown away, the spalting and cracking.
Occasionally I get some sugar maple burl that looks like this, and it usually has lots of checks running through it.
Yeah, a fair amount of CA went on the inside of that one.
Yeah. So is that why the top is like that?
I had to keep going back, it was just cracking up on me.
Yeah. So
But I didn't want to give up on it.
Right. But you can do more finishing in there. It's nicely done. It's incongruous with that. It's
Yes.
a different finish than the rest.
I got to figure out another holding for it.
Yeah. What is?
Sienna acrylic glue.
And that's real nice. That's sweet.
I had a bunch of flat stock, and I didn't, Turner, what are you going to do with your flat stock? I don't do segmented turning, but I split the flat stock down the middle so that I could have the grain pattern continue, and then I put some veneer in between it to give it bulk.
Yeah.
And if I had more, I'd cut it on a bias to make it a little more interesting, but I wasn't going to make furniture with it.
And right in here, it's a bit. I mean, the bottom inside is a little bit domed, but it's almost pointy. It's a little bit too pointy. Yeah, the dome is fine.
Yes, I learned the hard way what you were saying about scrapers.
Oh, okay.
Nothing worse than going on the inside of the box with a machine-honed scraper. Wow, it bites hard.
That's mine again. Another piece of
it looks a bit heavy for a local 80 foot, but because of that, I sort of want it to be lighter. You know, it had a different shape. It's a foot. It almost feels a bit.
He's fighting some check.
Yeah, I see the check, so I don't want to get that big bit. Yeah.
That was the widest base I can keep.
Makes sense.
That's me again.
That's you again, okay.
Spin top box.
Yeah. And the thing, they're just right in that's the first place you look and the first place you feel.
If you notice how there's not much there, I misjudged the depth. I had no wood to play with to clean that up.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's my learning process.
Yeah?
Of course, you picked up all the ones that were the beginning ones, not the end.
Okay. That covers it. Thanks.